Hey guys, it's Explorer. Wanted to go over the very last monk skill that was modified or buffed significantly in 1.07, which is Wave of Light. Now it's got a very high spirit cost, as it costs 75 spirit, so if you just have the base amount of spirit, you can only cast it twice, but it deals 829% weapon damage, followed by an additional 96% weapon damage. So the biggest and most powerful skill available to the monk, so it does absolutely massive damage. So as you can see from that one shot, I was able to take out everyone, and there's not elite pack here, so we will take a look at it. The disadvantage of Wave of Light is it's a short range skill, so you can only put it basically right in front of you, and if you try to put it anywhere else, it just goes right in front of you. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're using the skill and placing the skill, is that you've got to be in range, and you can't just place it anywhere you want. But as you can see, it does a significant amount of damage and works really well. The amount of damage is a little misleading, because most people, when they look at their damage, they just look at, okay, I've got 34% or 34,000 weapon damage based on 900%. 900% times 34,000 is going to be like 270,000 weapon damage. That's awesome. But if you've watched any of my videos, one of the things that I've tried to mention is there's a big difference between DPS and weapon damage. And so the weapon damage in this case or my actual damage per attack, is about half of my DPS. So it's really only about 17,000 per attack. So instead of doing 270,000, you're only doing, and I say only loosely, you're really doing about 160 or 170,000 damage. I haven't actually gone through and tried to figure out the math associated with it, but it's also going to depend on your critical hit chance as well. So, like I said, extremely powerful skill. So let's go and change it up. So the very first rune choice, I said the base skill was powerful. Well, the first rune choice is 1200% weapon damage. So again, just a ridiculous amount of weapon damage. And so if you're just wanting pure damage, then this is the rune choice that you want. So one wave of light and killed everybody, although they were just regular monsters, they weren't elites, but lots and lots of damage. So that's basically the only thing that this does, is it increases the damage. So once we finish out this room, then we will switch it up and go to the next one. So the next rune choice isn't quite as powerful, but it changes the skill dynamic quite a bit. So explosive light, it's still more than the base skill, 914% weapon damage. But this is great if you're Paragon leveling, because it does have a range to it, but it is essentially a Nova skill, where it's going to affect every single enemy in the area. It does knock them back, and like I said, just massive damage, and able to hit every single character, for every single enemy that's on the screen, assuming they're not standing behind something. So again, like I said, this is the best skill in my opinion when you're dealing with Paragon leveling, because you're not going to be facing these massive uber bosses, and if you're not dealing with bosses, then you're going to be taking out most of the elite packs in 1 or 2 shots anyways. So this way you're able to use it for more than just elite battles and work your way through, and it's the most efficient and So as the most efficient skill, you're able to have the highest experience per hour as a result. So that's the reason that I think this skill is so great. So enough of this, let us kill the guys in this area, and then we will go back to town.
I need spirit.
So the next rune choice is back to the basic regular attack. The Wave of Light Empowered Wave simply reduces the spirit cost to 40. But when you actually calculate the damage per spirit, it turns out to be more damage than Wall of Light. So if you're concerned about trying to cast this as much as possible and get the most amount of damage, then this is going to be your best option rather than Wall of Light, like I indicated. So Blinding Light stuns enemies for 3 seconds after you hit them, if you hit them with a critical chance. So this is good for elites, great for bosses, but I don't find it very effective for normal battles, because most of the time if you actually do critical hit them, you're going to kill them in one shot anyways. So
I don't have enough spirit.
as was the case there, I critically hit, but you didn't get the benefit of the stun. So if you're going to be doing Ubers, or if you're going to be doing bosses, then this is an effective rune, but if you're just using it for normal gameplay, then stay away from it. The very last rune choice is Pillar of the Ancients. Now, I'm not a big fan of this rune choice. It does a significant amount of damage, so it does almost 1200% weapon damage. The advantage of this rune is that you can place it and enemies take amount of damage twice, and so you can hit them once, and then so if you place it properly, it'll do a significant amount of damage, and you essentially there you go. Didn't get them any of them that time, but you place it, they take the damage, and then you, like I said, you hit them again. So this is some people's favorite rune choice. There's a few second delay between the first and the second one, but overall, because it's less damage, there's just not enough of an incentive for me in order to use this skill. I think for this skill to be truly effective, you've really got to buff the damage, so that this skill choice is does more damage than any of the other rune choices. So thanks for watching, guys. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I will continue finishing up this battle, and then as soon as the battle's done, end the video. So thanks.